Hello. So today we are going to draw a castle or a chateau, and I just want to show you some pictures. In this book, it shows you how castles have changed over time. They've been made out of different things. So we're going to start with this page here, and this says, "The castle was a home for the Lord and his family. The lady took charge of the castle while the Lord was away." So when you draw your castle today, you might want to think, now is this a castle that is meant to protect everyone in it? Or is it going to be more of like a big home like this one, which is in France? This is a chateau. And you can see within the walls of the castle, you've got some different parts of it. Here they've got stables for horses. Here they had a bakery, the well for water, different stores. Now we're going to read a little bit about a chateau. So this is in a book called If You Lived Here, Houses of the World by Giles LaRoche. And I want you to look at all the details in this. If you lived here, you'd have to cross 3 drawbridges to get into your house called a chateau. Once inside, you would have endless corridors. Endless corridors with dozens of rooms to run through, the 7 towers to climb, from which you could see for miles. In the surrounding pond called a moat, you could row alongside paddling ducks and swans and over swimming frogs and turtles. So a chateau looks like a castle, but is more comfortable and less fortress-like. But when the drawbridge is raised, it is almost impossible for anyone to get inside. So it still keeps them safe, but it's a little bit more comfortable and less like a fortress. So they're using different material like granite, which is a stone, like marble, wood, and tile. And this is located in France. Look at this. Look at all the different stones building these towers, all the little details, and I love that it has a moat, right? I definitely think of a moat when I think of a castle. Okay, so I'm going to draw 2 castles. These are going to be a lot simpler than the pictures we saw. I'm going to start with Sharpie, but of course you're going to start with pencil so you can erase any mistakes. And I'm going to do 2 different types of castles. This first castle I'm going to start here, I'm going to make it symmetrical. It's going to be the same on both sides. When I start my castles, I usually start with the door or the drawbridge and I sort of build it up. If you think about it, if you're building a castle or something out of building blocks, it doesn't just all pop up at once. You start little block by little block and you build and you build. It's the same thing with our drawing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a big upside down letter U, and this is going to be for my drawbridge. I'm going to close it off. Now I'm going to go a little bit quicker because your castle is not going to be like my castle. Look how I go out on both sides, and that makes it look a little bit more realistic. And I'm just going to do little lines across like it's made of wood because I think I'm going to have a moat. I love a moat. All right, so on the bottom, on either side of my door, I'm going to go out, and I'm going to go up and up. So again, this castle is symmetrical. This side is going to match this side. So everything I do on one side, I'm going to do on the other side. I'm just going to close this off. So look, upside down letter U, and then there's a rectangle, right? We can do that. So then I'm going to top it off with a very classic castle line. Are you ready? Over, down, over, up. Over, down, over, up. Over, down, over, up, over. Okay, so there's the beginning of my castle, and then I want to have some towers, I think. So first I'm going to start with over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down. I'm just going to put 2 parts like this. I'm going to do the same thing on this side because I am matching it. What are some other things that are symmetrical? Masks can be symmetrical. Butterflies can be symmetrical. Okay, so now I think I want maybe a tower right here. What do we think? So I'm going to go up, up, and I'm going to top it off with a beginning of a letter A, but I'm not going to cross it over. And then this line, I'm actually going to curve it so it looks a little bit more realistic. Okay, so then if I wanted to add more towers, I could, Maybe I'll go a little fancier. I'm going to go up, up, and this time I'm going to go out, out, and I'm going to connect that up, up, and I'm going to connect it with the castle line. Boop. Same thing over here, up, up. So it's fun. That's what's so fun about building with blocks for me, is that each time you can get something different. So you can add on different things. You can add flags. I'm going to add a little flag here too. If you want to have your little moat going around, you can kind of make that loop around, go around to the middle here and stop. Same thing here. And there's my moat. Now right now I haven't drawn a background because this sort of looks like it's floating up on top of a cloud. So I'm going to make a little hill back here, and it's going to jump all the way behind my castle just like that. So then I can go in and add details. I can add windows. I'm going to make big, tall, skinny letter U's. And they would make windows like this so they could shoot bow and arrows out of it. They could shoot arrows, but they would be protected because the windows were so thin. And I wouldn't put any windows down here because I want to be protected, right? And maybe I'm going to have, what if I put a little, one of those little gates coming down? I'm going to do straight lines, put V's on the bottom, and then just go across with a couple straight lines. And I'm going to go put some stripes in here. And I want this to look like it's made of stone, but I don't want to draw every single stone. So I'm just going to throw in some little rectangles here and there, and that's going to show people, hey, this is made of stone, and you don't have to draw every single one. So I'm just going to do it just like that, and maybe one more window here. What do you think? Okay, now you could go in there and add some detail. Maybe there are some swans in the moat. Maybe there are crocodiles in the moat. Maybe you have other little bridges, or you have a spooky forest back here. You can kind of decide on what you want your castle to be. All right, so this one's going to be a little different. I'm not going to match the two sides. I'm not going to worry about the two sides matching. So I think this one I might put on top of a hill. So I'm actually going to start with my little hill here. And a lot of times a castle would want to be up on a hill so that it could see far, far away and see if anybody was coming. All right, so I'm going to start again with a door, except this time I'm going to make a big rectangular door. And I think I'm going to put some, just make it look like it's made of wood. Maybe these will be little metal parts going across it. I'm just going to put little lines in there. I just helps me to start with the door. You might want to do it a little differently. And again, I'm doing building blocks. So I'm going to come up here, do my castle line going across, and I'm going to go pretty far over here. Shoop. And I'm not worried about it being perfectly straight. You can even have it go off to the sides and make it different. You can make it a castle in another type of, in another part of the world if you wanted. Okay, I think I'm going to have a big tall tower here. And I'm going to top it off. Let's see, maybe another cone like that. Now I put stripes across there, but I could also just put other different lines to kind of show that that's made out of something different. That wouldn't be made out of stone maybe, right? And maybe there's a tall window. Could you put something in there? Of course, you could put somebody in there. You could put a dragon looping around your castle if you wanted to. Okay, then up here, let's see, what else should I add on to here? So you can start to build your castle however you want. I'm going to go a little bit quicker now because I know you are going to be creative and come up with your own. And you might just get some ideas from my castle. And you might draw one and then want to draw even more. I'm going to put a big window in there. And I'm going to put stripes going down on this one. Now, if you wanted to make it look like it was all, if you wanted to draw every stone, one way that you could do that is draw lines going all the way across. You make stripes. See how I go behind the door? Boop, boop, boop. I'm going to fill this up with stripes. And this is just your preference because I think it looks good that way as well. And then I'm going to do one across here too because these would kind of be stones right on top. So what I do is I make my first row of stones. I try to make them all about the same width. And then I skip this one and I pretend this line keeps going down. So I draw a line, skip, draw the line, skip, draw the line, line, skip, line. So see how I do that going for each one? Go all the way down like that. And then now I put the line in between these two. Zoop. So in between these two lines. And guess what? I'm going to do the same thing. Is I'm going to skip, jump over, draw the line down, jump over, draw the line down. So I'm just going to keep going. Line, skip, line, skip, line. So those are my stones. It gets very busy. See, now I can't see my doors well. Maybe I'm going to give this a thicker outline. What do you think? And does your stone have to be gray? No, you could do pink and purple, turquoise. You could make a beach castle if you wanted to. You could add other little designs. I'm going to add some little dots in here. I think under this part, I'm going to draw some little stripes under here. So you can get fancy with this. Maybe this is going to have some big doorways in there. And then maybe over here, I don't want to draw all the stones. So I'm going to do little itty bitty stones. And then maybe this one is kind of a combination of big and little. I think it would be very busy if I did every stone on all the different parts. And then maybe I'm going to come up here and just have like a little roof. Maybe this is something up here. And like I said, you can add characters in here if you wanted a witch up here, or a princess, or a king and a queen, or a knight. This is up high on the hill, so I'm not going to have a moat, but I am going to have kind of a wavy kind of pathway coming there. And I could add some trees coming up if I wanted to. And I think, you know what? I think I'm going to just, why not? Why? I think I need to add this in here. What do you think? Whoosh. I need to draw some big wings coming from back here. This is going to be my dragon. But he's a friendly dragon. He's just flying around. He's looking for a little snack. Make him a long tail with a little arrow on the end. What do you think? Okay, he's just flying around, and then maybe this is a little kid here who's going to hand him something. Maybe a little treat. How about a lollipop? I don't know if dragons would like lollipops. What do you think? Okay, so have fun with your castles. Once you do your building blocks and build up your castle, whether it is symmetrical, the same on both sides, or not symmetrical, and you change it up, just start with each little section, building and building, and then you come up with whatever kind of details you want, background. Maybe back here, I'm going to do more, another little mountain in the background. Oh, these kind of connect. Maybe these are sisters who live in their different castles. So have fun. Think about how you want to do the stone. Think about how you do the roof. If you add details like flags or gates or moats. And I think I will pop in a little, this will be a little alligator in here. Can you see that's like his little eye and his little tail coming up from there? So good luck on your castle or chateau drawing.